Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with former British title holder Denzel Bentley, looking to in the future maybe reclaim that British title. He's got to get through Danny Dignum though this weekend. Denzel, how's life?
I'm all good, man. Life is good, man. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. All the better for speaking to you, Denzel. Let's look forward to Danny Dignum. When the opponent of Dignum was mentioned to you, how happy were you to take on the challenge?
I just said yes. just said yes because I wanted a good fight. I wanted a real fight to get back to. But then it was like who? Then obviously Lee Eaton called my manager Martin and said, "Yo, look, we got Danny Dignum there," and I said, "Yeah, let's take it. Let's get something for it, and let's make it happen. Let's make it worth it, and let's do it." So it wasn't. I didn't second guess it. It wasn't like let me see. I want to come back. No, I was happy to get on straight away.
How much of his career have you followed? Because for boxing fans, it feels like he's taken very much off the beaten path kind of thing, away from the spotlight, up until he got that opportunity against Yanibek Alam-Kaluli, and that ended the way it did for him. But how much was he on your radar as you progressed through your career?
Not really, though, because he was with Matchroom at first, and then he left. So he started off quite well, and then things got a bit rocky. He wasn't, completely under the radar all the time. He's a good fighter, and obviously his career's turned out the way it's turned out because of maybe decisions he's made outside the ring. Who knows? I mean, with who he wants to sign with and stuff, maybe. But obviously, I don't know. I'm just imagining because he was with Matchroom first, but then he got his big shot at Yanibek. Went in there with kind of the wrong mindset, and then what happened. But listen, Danny's a better fighter than that, and I know that. I've shared a ring with him plenty of times. I'm a boxing fan. He wasn't on my radar first because he started off at super middleweight. When he came down to middle, we used to spar a lot, so I thought probably still won't happen. And then when I won a British, I thought he might be mandatory, and then they went a different route, and I thought, okay, we'll probably never fight. But now our careers have met back to where it is today and where we're here fighting. So listen, it is what it is.
If a boxing fan was to look at your fight with Yanibek and his fight with Yanibek and say, look, off of the back of that, the way you performed, you should be the clear favourite in the fight and should be looking to get a clear, distinct victory against Danny Dignum. How dangerous is it for you to look at that? And do you think boxing fans are onto something if they look at this fight that way?
I don't know. I don't look at that, and I never have. When I got the fight, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even remember we had a common opponent until it was mentioned to me. So that's not something I look at. But I mean, boxing fans can do what they want. At the end of the day, they got to look into it. As long as it's bringing attention, then yeah, man, do your thing.
I read an article recently, it slipped my mind, otherwise I'd give it the appropriate credit, but you came out and revealed your reasons as to why you weren't at your best for the Nathan Heene fight. A lot of reasons as to why that was, but could you just kind of say here, like, how much of a difficult time was that for you heading into that fight?
It was just difficult mentally. It wasn't a madness. It was just difficult mentally. Like mentally, I just wasn't there. I was just thinking about other things. I was just at the press conference, just thinking about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But listen, that's the past. You know what I'm saying? I got to move on to the future. All them reasons, excuses don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't come through this, then what am I going to say to you then? I'm telling you now that I'm good. I'm in a good place and I'm ready to go. And this is what I want to focus on right now. What's in front of me, not what's behind me.
How high on your priority list then is the rematch with Nathan Heene? It seems like for him, he's looking for that Stoke Stadium fight, but that seems on hold for now. Stoke can't seem to get everything ready for him to have that fight, so he's got to wait for the moment. And maybe that opens up a rematch with you, or would you look to want to have that as that Stoke Stadium fight?
Yeah, we can have a rematch at Stoke Stadium. I don't really mind. It's another venue to tick off on my list, but other than that, it's a rematch I want, but I'm not like hell bent on it. I'm not like, I need this, because that's not my only loss. So I'm saying there's other guys that I want to avenge my loss to. So the journey would, take its toll. So we just have to wait and see how the journey unfolds. And as long as we're moving forward, we're happy. But yeah, I'll definitely take that rematch at Stoke if it presents itself. If not, then it is what it is, and we move on.
So who is on the Denzel Bentley priority list then?
Danny Dignum.
Just get your thoughts on a couple of people otherwise in the division. First of all, Hamza Shiraz takes on Amir Williams. How do you feel he fares in that fight?
Good fight, man. If he can take a shot, then I think he can win. Amir punches really hard. I sparred both of them, and they're both good fighters. So I'm looking forward to it.
You said that if he can take a shot, he'll win. What's the question marks you have around him?
I just haven't seen him in with a fighter that's as dangerous as Amir before. Do you know what I mean? So, it's not really question marks. It's just things you haven't seen. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Amir hits really hard, like I said. But it's if Amir can even land that shot because of the height differences, how Hamza uses his height and his reach and his range and stuff like that. And then, like I said, if he can take Amir's best shot, then he could win.
I remember that that was a question surrounding Shiraz regarding taking a shot, and you feel that maybe he hasn't taken that so far in his career. And the fight with Benavidez, where he dropped Benavidez, I think it was, and then when he looked to try and get the finish, he also got dropped himself. Did you see that as like as a future potential opponent, as maybe a bit of a weakness, that there's an opportunity to crack him if you can, find that hole in his defence?
No, he didn't fight Benavidez. He fought a common opponent to Benavidez, but. That was just him just getting careless, and he walked into a shot, and it was more balanced than anything. It wasn't like he was hurt. It was more balanced than anything. That guy wasn't a big puncher, so I'm not going to say he hurt him, because he got back up and I think he stopped in the next round or the same round or something. So he just came off balance. He came too square and walked into a shot. That's all it is. I mean, he was fighting someone his height for once, and that guy had that same kind of reach, or maybe a little bit of a reach advantage on him. And he walked into I think it was a jab. He walked into a jab and just fell off balance. But yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just like, I'm all cracks with his backhand. So if he can take a good shot, then I think he can win on points.
Your former opponent Felix Cash takes on Tyler Denny for the European title. Who do you favour in that fight?
Good fight, man. Good fight. You have to favour Cash, but Cash has been inactive and Tyler Denny's been on a roll. So listen, best of luck to both of them. I think Tyler Denny can pull it off, but I'd favour Cash.
Did you see Tyler Denny comments coming out saying about silent bans and putting that to Felix Cash? I wonder if that was ever anything you ever thought about Felix Cash after you faced him.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't watch the press conference. So I missed that. But I've heard stuff and I've heard things. But listen, that's all for the people in charge to do their job and rectify it. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But I have heard stuff, and it's not for me to do other people's job for them, innit?
There's a couple of final things, and I'll let you go as you look forward to your fight with Danny Dignum. We're rearing towards that Fury versus Usyk Undisputed fight. I wonder, has your opinion changed on who wins the Undisputed crown?
No, I said earlier, it depends on the referee. If the referee lets Fury get away with his little tricks, then Fury wins. But if the referee's very strict and he just breaks them out every time they're getting close, then Fury could and Usyk could nick it. But yeah, it's a good fight. It could go either way, and I'm excited to see that myself. I mean, I won't be in camp. I'll be done, and I could just watch that freely with some junk food.
Looking to get over to Saudi yourself?
You know what? I wanted to, but there's a lot of responsibilities and stuff, and I just had a son and that, so it won't be fair to just fly out to Saudi because I want to enjoy a fight. So yeah.
Your son a future boxing star?
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't want to put that on him, man. He's still young.
So just going back to you said, look about the referee of Fury Usyk. How much do you think about referees in your fights?
I don't really think about referees, Only now, obviously not now, but only since my career has moved on, I've got to know a few referees because they've ref my fights and stuff. That's about. I just look at who's ref and be like, oh yeah, he's a good ref. But I don't think I've ever pointed at a ref and said he's a bad ref. So not in the UK anyway. Not for my fights anyway. But when I'm watching other fights, I'm like, oh, ref could have done better there or whatever. But I don't really look at that stuff now.
Have you been keeping tabs on the Ryan Garcia situation at all?
I've seen it. I've seen he was guilty. Now they're saying he's been relieved of all these convictions or whatever it is. So whether he's innocent or not, I don't know. But my only question is, how does something you've never taken before end up in your system? If he's saying it was contaminated supplement he was taking, and that supplement was contaminated, then that's different. But I don't think I've heard him say he's never taken anything. I think he said he was taking something and it had a bit of that in it, so it kind of messed him up. But I don't really know, and like I said, that's for the people in charge to take control of. Otherwise, if the people in charge don't do their job correctly, the sport ends up in a bad place. So, the people in charge need to do what they need to do.
Well said. Last word to yourself. What happens in your fight with Danny Dignum?
2-shot win.
Denzel, pleasure. All the best.